service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily Podcast is a service of CNC News, and it's made possible by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 members with business solutions since 1984. Well, New York's Health Exchange opens for business October 1st under President Obama's Affordable Health Act. Obamacare isn't actually health care reform, it's health insurance reform. Both Blue Cross Blue Shield and the state health department say now's a good time to do some homework if you're going to shop for insurance on that exchange. Lynn Scalzo of Excelis Blue Cross in Rochester says the decision should be about the same amount of work as buying a new car or a washer and dryer. Those who are uninsured or hoping they can get a better deal have until the end of next March to enroll, so there's no rush. But to figure out if this is for you, Excelis and the health department both have YouTube videos, and they have online written presentations on their websites about how to compare. You'll also want to estimate your 2014 income to see if you qualify for financial help. The state has a calculator on its website at nystateofhealth.ny.gov. You plug the number into that and find out what you're eligible for. Again, you've got 6 months, so it's not exactly crunch time. Former Congresswoman Anne Marie Buerkle will not seek a third rematch against Democrat Dan Maffei in New York's 24th congressional district. Buerkle beat Maffei to win the seat in 2010, then lost it when Maffei challenged her again last fall, and she announced this morning she will not try for it again in 2014. Buerkle said she's been humbled by the support and the number of requests she has gotten to run, says she's still concerned about the direction of the nation, but she also said she's realized she can push that agenda outside of elective office, including in her job as a commissioner of the Consumer Product Safety Commission. And that 24th district covers the eastern end of Monroe County and out towards the Syracuse area. A state Supreme Court justice will decide whether Rochester's use of red light cameras is constitutional or not. Judge Scott Odorizzi said he'll issue a written ruling by November 8th after hearing arguments Tuesday in the case brought by Rochester lawyer Larry Krieger. He sued the city after being mailed one of the automatically generated tickets last year. Krieger believes the system violates the right of due process because the ticket goes to the owner of the car that gets photographed, and that may not have been the person driving. Krieger also said the person does not get a chance to confront his accuser. The city argued that the law promotes public safety by reducing red light violations. Krieger's lawyer called it a red light tax and argued the city's main objective was raising money. A Rochester amputee who accuses city police of roughing him up has sued the city in federal court. Benny Warr claims in his suit that he was assaulted by police who came to clear people from the corner of Jefferson Avenue and Bartlett Street. Warr, who said he was there because he was waiting for a bus, was arrested. A cell phone video showing the officers upsetting his wheelchair went viral over the internet. Warr's attorney, Charles Berkowitz, said his client wants both damages and an end to the police cool-down sweeps of street corners. Berkowitz said they're a civil rights violation, and he said police video caught by one of Rochester's own blue light cameras will show that his client was not doing anything unlawful. The family of a Monroe Community Hospital patient who had his wheelchair taken away is suing Monroe County for violating his rights and wrongfully causing his death. The case of Samuel Condello led to dismissal of the hospital's former executive director, Todd Spring. Spring allegedly took Condello's wheelchair as punishment for his continued violations of the hospital smoking rules that confined the elderly man to bed. The suit charges it contributed to his death back in January. The Rochester City School District said it will work with the city and community agencies to transport high school students by express bus routes that bypass downtown. The district said in a statement that it is also working closely with city police to deal appropriately with students who engage in violent behavior, whether it's in school or after. This follows Monday afternoon's chaos at the Liberty Pole downtown, where a shot was fired during what began as a fight between teenagers hanging out at the bus transfer point outside the Sibley building. Nobody was hit. Police chased the gunman, but they lost him in the crowd. The district said there is no indication whether the shooter was indeed a city school student. The school district changed its bus policy a couple of years ago so students, wherever possible, ride on buses that bypass downtown. That cut down on the fights at the Liberty Pole. The district plans to issue a new smart card to students in January that will track where they go and show if anyone's violating the policy. Harris Corporation of Rochester has won a U.S. Army contract for high-tech vehicle radios worth $140 million over the next 2 years. Congresswoman Louise Slaughter said the Army will first buy about 200 of the mid-tier networking vehicular radios. That's what they call the things. They'll test them, and then Phase 2 would be the purchase of 2,500 more if the Army's satisfied. Harris employs about 2,100 people at its facility in Rochester. A crash on West Ridge Road took the life of a Webster man Tuesday night. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office said 19-year-old Kevin Sapp was behind a truck that had slowed down because a vehicle in front of it was making a left turn. Sapp whipped around the truck at a high rate of speed, and he went straight into the side of the turning car, which he hadn't been able to see. He was pronounced dead a short time later at Unity Hospital. A University of Buffalo freshman found dead Sunday was a Greece Athena High School graduate. Nick Ariano graduated from Athena earlier in the year. He was found dead in a house near the UB campus. Toxicology tests are being done after an autopsy failed to determine the cause of death. A Gates truck driver spends the next 17 years in federal prison after sentencing. He'll spend another 20 years under supervision once he's released. Federal prosecutors said 48-year-old Michael Rolfe took a child of less than 12 years old with him on a run to Texas and repeatedly had sex with her during the trip. He was found guilty of transporting a minor across state lines. A Canandaigua man has been arrested in a Florida cold case. Canandaigua police said 42-year-old Rodney Bice was arrested as a fugitive from justice from Seminole County, Florida. The sheriff's department there wanted Bice for second-degree murder. He is accused of killing a woman in the spring of 1998. Her body found about a week after she vanished. Investigators from Seminole County's cold case unit were on hand for the arrest. To the left of the player window here, you'll find links to these and other stories, and at the bottom of the page, if you're on the CNC pages, links you can use to post news items and community events directly to us. So the next news podcast is As It Happens. The updates are as necessary. You can help us be the judge of that. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.